Dealerships are having a harder and harder time moving cars. And is anyone surprised? Who wants to pay $60,000, $70,000 for a pickup truck? I don't care if it's 0% interest. Who's buying this? That's literally the average price of a home in the 1980s. Now we're just paying that for a pickup truck. Thankfully, people are starting to wake up, because paying $900 for 72 months is no longer viable, especially in this great economy that we're currently in. People are waking up and looking at alternatives, like I'm going to fix up my old beater and keep it running, or I'll buy a used car. But I'm not going into massive amounts of debt for years to drive a new pickup truck. Let me know what you guys think down below. Would you rather buy a used car or a new car, and why? And if you're new to this channel, subscribe so I'm not talking to myself. Thanks. Let's see what other people are saying about this.
Can you imagine spending $85,000 for a pickup truck? More importantly, an F-150. This thing doesn't even have a V8. This is a V6 hybrid system. I mean, what could possibly go wrong, right? Oh, why is there two? Oh, nice. You have to have two reservoirs for the coolant. One for the batteries, one for the engine. That's not going to go wrong. And this is a Platinum, and basically everything on the door panel, plastic, 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 plastic. Plastic is unfinished. Look at that. Nice little ridge there. Like, that's some great build quality right there. If you were to spend $85,000 on a pickup truck, I probably wouldn't buy a Ford.
$50,000 for a new truck, a base model truck, a work vehicle, is what all of these dealerships are asking for new car prices. Now, I wanted to buy a new truck this year, and I wasn't able to. I couldn't afford it. I had to be humble. I bought a used truck. I found a 2017 Toyota Tundra that I'm sitting in right now, and this I was able to buy for $35,000 with 50,000 miles on it. And it's a Toyota, and how many times have you driven down the highway and seen 20 Tacomas and Tundras that are ancient, that look like they have 300,000 or 400,000 miles on them? So that's why I bought it. I'm like, okay, 50K miles on it. Thing will probably go 300,000 or 400K if I just change the oil and, don't screw it up too bad. So I can do that. But I'm not just talking about Toyotas or Hondas. I'm talking about Fords, Chevys, GMCs. Like, all the new car prices are nuts. There's hundreds of vehicles sitting on these dealers' lots. They can't move them. Nobody can afford to go out and buy these new cars right now, guys. Like, the economy is cash strapped.
So I just had someone from service say, you guys must be doing pretty well. You guys got a lot of cars out there. And I unfortunately had to break the news to them that means that we're not doing very well and we need to sell all of these cars. If the lot's empty, then we're doing pretty well.
Over $44,000 for this 2024 Ford Ranger, and of course it's almost 50 grand before even paying tax. After you pay tax and interest, you're going to be over 50 grand most likely on this vehicle at the end of the day. And look at this, they're adding an extra $2,000 in add-ons. Come on, get out of here with that stuff. Most people would just say, no, it's not worth 2 grand for some window tint and stuff like that. Like, come on, get out of here with that stuff. But this Ford dealership's pretty loaded. They even have Ford Raptors in stock. That's the crazy part about it, is almost all of this is 2024 inventory, and they have some of the most desirable vehicles they sell in stock because people are not buying as much. It's just
car dealers are not selling anything. Check this out. This right here is the dealership next to my house. Full of cars all over the place. They're not selling nothing. Yeah, dealerships are packed.
The amount of money you need to make to afford the average car in 2026 is absolutely insane. So for context, the average MSRP of a new car is now $51,288, and I ran the numbers for you. Let's take this Toyota Highlander. This runs close to $50,000, and if you make a 20% down payment, you're still going to end up with a monthly car payment of $773 per month. That's before any car insurance, maintenance, or fuel costs, and I looked those up for this car in particular, and that adds about $348 a month to your transportation costs. That means your total transportation costs per month are $1,121 per month, and don't forget you also put $10,000 down to get this car in the first place. The income that you need to comfortably afford this car is $134,520 per year. But it gets worse because I used a 5-year financing term instead of 4 years like the rule suggests. Now, if I use 4 years, then your corresponding transportation cost per month goes up to $1,287 a month. That means the gross salary that you should be making in order to comfortably afford this car is $154,440 per year to afford a Toyota Highlander. So
I want to know what y'all's car payments are every month. because I refuse to believe that I am the only person with a high car payment, and I refuse to believe that my husband is the only man with a high truck payment. There is absolutely no way that people are purchasing these vehicles without paying a high car payment. I can look online and find a hoopty, and it's going to be like $15,000. That is wild. So please, tell me what your car payments are, because I need to prove a point that I am not the only person in this predicament.
All right, so the black one, I pay, the gray one, I pay $2,900 a month, so a total of $6,000 for these two. To get both of my car to wash every 2 weeks, $120, so total of $240 a month. Insurance is about $3,400 every 6 months, which is not bad.
What is the worst monthly payment and rate combination you've ever seen?
Yeah, that'd have been the Navigator. $112,000 Navigator with 10 grand in negatives, 12.9% in interest, $3,000 a month. What was it? Like 50K in interest. Crazy money.
What's the worst monthly payment and rate combination you've ever seen?
Have to be $70,000 Ford F-150. He signed out 19.9% interest, and I believe he signed out at a $2,000 payment. I was flabbergasted.
Jillian, what is the worst monthly payment and rate that you've ever seen?
$2,500 a month with 6.7%.
What is the highest monthly payment and interest rate combination you've ever seen?
23 and a quarter here in Minnesota. It was on about a $15,000 Camry. Payment wasn't outrageous. It was maybe like $500, but the interest on that loan was almost as much as the car. I think it was about 12 or 13 grand on a $15,000 vehicle. What is the worst interest rate and payment combination you have ever seen?
Ooh, I think it was like a 2012 Equinox that was just totally clapped out for like $4,000. They signed out at 23.5% for, I believe it was 36 months at $182 a month. The total amount of interest over the course of the loan, I think, was a little bit less than the actual price of the car. It's absolutely ridiculous. What is the worst payment and rate combination you've ever seen?
24 Bronco Sport, 18% for 60 months, $700 monthly payment.
What is the worst monthly payment and rate combination you've ever seen?
$9,000 Kia Forte, 21% interest and $415 a month.
Driving a paid-off car is such a blessing. It may be old, definitely far from new. I have tire lights on, engine light be coming on for no reason. But hey, it gets me from point A to B without any problem, and I just love it. And it's even more sentimental to me because this car has actually been around for as long as I've been alive. It was actually my parents' car before this. Now it's mine, and I intend to keep it for as long as I possibly can.
People sometimes ask me, Paul, why do you drive a nearly 40-year-old Volvo? Firstly, it's a very reliable car and safe. This car was a vehicle that basically nobody ever died in. The crumple zones were so well designed, the seat belts, the brakes, it's just a very safe car. The buttons on the dash feel nice. You've got these vents with little Oreo cookies. The dash, the speedometer and gauges are clear and easy to read. The location of everything just makes sense. Comfortably seats 5. The trunk is actually cavernous. You can fit a lot in here. And yes, I keep an extra wheel with me in case I scratch one. Feels solid. It's surprisingly narrow in case you find yourself driving through some narrow European street. Mostly, I think it's remarkably good looking. This is what a car should look like. Still enough of these on the road that parts are readily available. And unlike new cars, there's nothing spying on you. There's no spyware in this vehicle. It's not something that can only be repaired at the dealership. More than anything, though, I just like the way it drives.
What's one thing that old cars do better than new cars?
They last.
Okay.
Old cars last.
Why do they last more or longer?
They're built a lot better.
Less electronics?
Yeah, way less stuff to break.
Old cars seem to last longer, maybe, and they look pretty nice. There's some nice old cars out there.
Mm-hmm.
Chevelles, Mach 1s, Mustangs.
What's your favorite old car?
Probably a Chevelle. Yeah.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
In my honest opinion, with the electronics, they don't cost as much, and you normally fix it on your own. And like the newer age now, you have to have all these electronical components.
The electronics do make things nice.
They do.
But they make it harder to work on.
Yes.
Hey there, y'all. I'm Farmer Tom. As my pappy used to say, if you know how to maintain, you ain't gotta buy a damn thing. Thanks, Farmer Tom. Tom always has some words of wisdom. But honestly, maintaining your vehicle will go a long way. You would be surprised how many people get an oil change once a year or once the low oil level shows up on their car. But honestly, man, so many of these new cars with all these new electronics and computers in them, it's like they're built to break. I guess it's true, they don't build them like they used to, huh? A lot of people are just in a tough situation. Most Americans don't have, I think it's like 60% don't have $1,000 saved for an emergency. So it's kind of hard to tell somebody, just go buy a $10,000 used car. And that's how people are getting stuck into these payments. Let me know what you guys think down below. What kind of car do you drive? How old is your car? How long do you think it's going to go for? And when it does become time to buy a new car, are you going to get a new one or a used one? Thank you guys for watching, and until next time.